Hi everybody, I'm Richie from Awesometistic, and it's an absolute pleasure and honour to be asked to introduce the first ever virtual careers event in Northumberland. This has been organised by the Careers Guidance Team and Information Advice Support Service. And then over the course of the event, we're going to hear from local employees, colleges, universities, training providers and many more. So I hope you enjoy the event and you gain lots from it. And I will see you soon.
Many thanks to Richie again from Awesometistic for opening day 2 of our first ever virtual event. Hello again, my name is Lindsay and I'm part of the Careers Guidance team.
Hello again, my name is Vicky and I'm part of the Information Advice and Support Service.
Hi everyone, my name is Alison and I'm also part of the Information Advice and Support Service.
Hello, my name is Julia and I'm also part of the Information Advice and Support Service.
As I previously mentioned, we would normally host a face-to-face event this time of the year. Last year we were at the Lindisfarne building in Alnwick and we were also at the Fuse in Brudder. And we've also organised events at the Woodhorn in Ashington. So you may have been to one of our events before or met one of us there. We didn't want COVID-19 prevent young people from having the opportunity to see what was available to them after year 11, which is why we've organised this event.
This virtual event has meant that we can invite more organisations, including employers, to tell you more about their jobs. This is why the event is being presented over 2 days. We've a lot more to share with you. You will notice that some of the films may have been made prior to COVID-19.
You saw some employees and education providers yesterday, and today you're going to hear from Jonathan from Motion North East, as well as find out about local provision. We're recording the event again today so you can watch it over again. And you can share the links with your parents and carers to show them your options.
You should have your booklets with you again, which we shared with schools to help you with your research. You'll be able to find all the information on our speakers on the Careers Guidance Team webpage on Northumberland County Council website, and these will be posted after the event.
Please keep sending us some messages over social media, #MyFutureOptions. We would love to hear from you through the day and give you some shout outs.
We're going to be sharing an evaluation form with your school after the event, and we'd be really grateful if you could complete this for us.
I'll be sharing more questions with you to answer to win Amazon vouchers, so watch carefully.
We hope you enjoyed today's presentation and learn more again about your options after year 11. I'm handing over to Steph again to refresh us on her tips for the future. Enjoy.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying your virtual careers event. I know times are really weird, but it's great that you're thinking about what you can do next. So I'm Steph McGovern, I'm a TV presenter and a journalist, so it's my job to basically be nosy and then tell people what's going on in the world. So the main advice I would give you is be ambitious. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're not good enough, because you are. You've got loads of skills that lots of employers are looking for. It's not all about qualifications. It's about being nice, working hard and trying to find the things that you like doing. Also, don't worry if sometimes you find things hard. We all do, including me. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't really know what I wanted to be, and that's okay too. You can just try different things and see what you like. I think the key is try and get some work experience. Don't be afraid to email or call or message people to ask about a work placement, or search online and see if they do any work experience you can apply for. But overall, I'd say the main thing is you just need to work hard and be nice and you will do well in life. So good luck from me.
Hello. My name is Julia and I'm part of the Information, Advice and Support Service. We hope you enjoy today's presentations and learn more about your options after year 11. We've shared booklets with school to help you with your research. During the morning, there's a competition. If you can answer the following 4 questions and email them to the Careers Guidance Team, you will be entered into an Amazon prize draw. Question 1. Richie at Awesometistic talks about how people with autism can be awesome. Can you tell us how old Richie was when he was diagnosed with autism? Question 2. Dennis from Splinter Group tells us about the group activities and events. Can you name one activity you could get involved in? Question 3. Brightside tells you about how they support young adults. Can you name one life skill task on the video that young adults can learn? Question 4. Donna from Karma Therapy tells us about how to get involved with the group. Can you tell us the age range for the football club? Please email your answers to careersteam@northumberland.gov.uk. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Vicky and I'm helping Northumberland young people prepare for adulthood. As an information advice and support service officer, I visit children and young people both in their homes and at school to offer them help to have a voice and to have their views heard. I also offer information and advice around their support in school, healthcare and social care services. When I was in school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do until one evening, a careers evening, when I had an interview with a member of staff who actually asked all the right questions about what I liked at school, what I enjoyed doing, and from that we came up with a plan that I actually wanted to be a blacksmith. So she took me for an interview and I secured an apprenticeship to actually start being a blacksmith. But unfortunately, due to an injury with my hand, I wasn't able to follow that. So I then had to go down a different route again and be interviewed and started to work on what's called a YTS, which is a similar thing to an apprenticeship in a building society. So I spent 18 years at that building society, which then turned into a bank, doing various different roles before I had a change of career. And I went back to college and retrained and then started working in school, supporting young people with their learning, where I spent about 8 years doing that before I actually took on this current job. The advice I would give to young people now at school would be to take advantage of any opportunities that come along. If you're worried about things, always talk to someone. Don't let anything get on top of you. And I think above all, enjoy everything that you get the chance to do and make the most of everything and work hard at everything, and then you'll get the best out of it.
Hello again, I'm Vicky. I work for the Information Advice and Support Service. I hope you've already seen my short film, which ended with a photograph of Bertie the alpaca and me. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about what I do and the support I can offer. I can listen, then help you find out information to questions you may have or show you where you can get help. Maybe you need some help to get your views heard, help to prepare or share what you may want to say in a meeting. Some young people find talking to someone who is not involved with their school and who is not their parent or carer can be helpful. As I'm impartial, I'm not on anyone's side. I may also ask your opinion on what we can do better to help support their children and young people. Sometimes you may see me in your school. I have focus groups in some schools who I'm hoping to see again soon. These groups involve looking at different things and the group giving their thoughts and opinions. This may be subjects that they want to look at or helping give views to develop projects. The past project was to help us understand their feelings about what help could look like when you're struggling with mental health. This work was used to help get funding for another dedicated mental health team in Northumberland. You may also see me at Northumberland Disabled Youth Forum. I go along to see what they're up to. I can speak to you by phone, text, email, or face-to-face. That can be at home or in school, depending on COVID-19 restrictions, and depending on what you would prefer. If you want to get in touch, my contact details will be in the information provided to your school. There are lots of different things you can do outside of school in Northumberland, such as young firefighters, scouts, guides. There are different youth groups around, depending on where you live. Some are run by the youth service, some are through groups like Karma Therapy, Evergreen Teens, or as you're getting a bit older, there's Splinter Group. There are some sports clubs around, like Superstar Soccer Community Group, Smile Through Sport, have lots of different events go on all around Northumberland. Some of these groups you will hear about today. There are also more providers than those that have provided films to us today. COVID-19 has meant not everyone has been able to make a film. So there are other organisations like North Star Centre up in Berwick, Pottergate Centre in Alnwick, the Tynedale Centre over in Hexham, or the Horticulture Unit and Garden Cafe at Hepscott Park. I hope you enjoy the films. Remember to look for the answer to Julia's questions and email the answers at the end of the morning session to the careers team. Their email is careersteam@northumberland.gov.uk. Oh, and I nearly forgot, many thanks to the students at Barndale and the Grove for sending us in their questions. We will be sharing our answers with you after the event.
Hi everybody, I'm back. So I'm Richie from Awesometistic, and basically I opened this company 2 years ago because I wanted to let people know that people with autism can be awesome, just as awesome as you guys. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how autism affects me, and what about my autism that really gives me strength, but then it can also be quite hard on us at the same time. So, I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was 34. So life before that was very difficult. I didn't understand why I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't understand how I didn't work very well in social situations. I didn't understand my strength when I was like fun fighting and playing with other children. I didn't understand why I didn't learn in a different way to everybody else. I didn't understand why I wasn't very good at school. I didn't understand behaviour. And it really, really upset us, and it knocked me confidence. And I quickly learned when I got older, when I did get diagnosed with autism, it gives a lot of answers for the behaviours that I had before. So I quickly decided that what I need to do is I need to try and let everybody else understand what it's like to have autism. So I just want to have a little think about where you are right now, right? So if you're sitting in a classroom now, think about all the laminates that are on the side of the walls. Think about the lights that are in the room, the noises off the monitor, the noise off the noise that I've got. When I'm sitting in a room, when I'm a child, I can hear probably about 10 to 15 different noises in a room. Now, all of them, I call them 0.1s. And when all of them come in at once, it really causes us to have a meltdown. And then meltdowns can look like I'm being naughty. It can look like I'm upset. It could look like I want to be alone and isolated. It could look like I want to run away. It could look like I'm keep wanting to go to the toilet, get a bit of space. And it's because of the sensory that them lights and noises and all that reflection off all of the laminates can cause us to be in there. But then there's the boy that was sitting in the classroom and I was scared to put my hand up. So put your hand up to answer a question and everybody's looking at you. That's a lot of anxiety and a lot of pressure. I was worried in case I get it wrong because socially I didn't know how to fit in. So what I used to do is I used to put my hand up all the time. Can I go to the toilet, miss? Can I go to the toilet, miss? And what I was doing is I was giving myself a sensory break. And that's why with my autism, I need to have little sensory breaks because it brings my level down. And I think the best way to explain this is what it's like to get up in the morning. So when I get up in the morning, I could be, let's say out of 1 to 10, I could be number 3, right? Now I use these every single day. Right, the little Tom tags, and what you do is you turn them around, each way around, right, and then I turn them around. Now that's almost like a little check-off list for me in the morning. So even though I'm functional, I run a successful charity, and I do what I do to try and make people awesome and things like that. But without these, I couldn't continue with the day. And it's them things that people don't see that allows me to come across like I'm trying my best. But actually behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff like ear defenders, sensory, ribbons and different types of textures that really calm us down that people don't know and not aware of. So when I first get up in the morning, I've got to do this big strict routine. Then I come down and then depending on what's for breakfast, I've got to work out about what that smells like. So before I'd even got to school or before I've even went to work, I was already on this big sensory curve, which the posh words for them are hyper and hypo. And I used to ride up and down this curve. Now, it was my job to try and learn the autism to squeeze them down. But I mean, my autism affected me friendships. It affected me like getting to school, coming away from school, trying too hard. So it just affects us in a lot of different ways. It can affect us where I can be really fun. I can be really hyper. I can be too hyper. I can be really sad and I can be really down. You might see a few autistic people that like to shake and rock and things like that. Now, the posh word for that as well, it's called stimming, where they're doing this. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to regulate their body because, for instance, I'm sitting with you on this phone now, right? And I can see the big light on there. I can see another light down there. I've got the curtains and all of the shadows going on. All of that's causing us. So in order for me to digest all of that stuff that's coming in, I've got to kind of rock a little bit to get out. For some people, it might be that they like to chew on things. For some people, it could be that they like to have the ear defenders. So there's no noise in here, but I like to put these on because actually it's taking the calmness down of everything else. So therefore I'm starting to calm down. So I would say if there's any autistic children in the class, then just don't be afraid to go and ask them about how you could help them, or if they want to explain some of their own personal autism, because, and if I think I've got time, what I'll do is explain to you where I fit on the autism, right? I've got an autism spectrum condition, right? So that means that I'm on an autism spectrum, right? So it doesn't mean that I'm high functional or low functional. It just means that I'm on a spectrum. And the best way to explain that is to say, like, I might be really clever at maths. I might have a full degree in mechanical engineering. I might have my business and things, but also you won't see any of the struggles that you won't see the big ball that I've got in this room, which I sit and I jump up and down on. You won't see the teddy bear that I've got over there. You won't see any of the aids that I've got, which could be classed as a 3 or 4s, but then you might see some people with a couple of 1s and 2s, but they'll also have 7s and 8s. And that number frame makes up that person's autism, where mine frame, and that's why we're all different. So I just want to say, thank you for taking 5 minutes to come and listen to about what it's like to have autism. It can be awesome, but it can be really hard too. So if you can't find it in yourself for that, I mean, I felt like a freaking weirdo for a long time in school, and I shouldn't have to. You know, I know you guys probably think that that's not a nice thing to feel all the way through school, is it? Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't until I realised how awesome autism can be that I ended up being more successful than a lot of other people, just by being positive and driving forward and using what I've got as a person and my own personal skill set to push on. So thank you very much.
The next videos include some information from some local providers, as well as Jonathan from Motion North East, who's going to give us some tips on keeping fit. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I'm here today to tell you all about Karma Therapy. I'm going to show you what we do and how you can become involved. Karma Therapy, we support young people of all ages and adults. We have a centre in Chopperton and we are opening a new centre in Morpeth soon. We can help you with benefits such as DLA and PIP, help you fill out any forms and we can come to any meetings with you. We also run after school clubs. Every Thursday we have football club. Football clubs for young people aged 5 to 17. We have 2 teams and we practice at Elton Football Ground. We have weekly youth group and social community enterprise group. Both are for young people aged 12 and over and on at our Chopperton Centre. Not only are these fun groups where you can hang out with your friends, you will also learn new skills. At Social Community Enterprise Group, we make products to sell. The money you raised is donated to charity or it goes towards a treat day for you all for all your hard work. At this group you can learn many skills such as customer service, advertising, selling skills, volunteering, how to set up a new business, fundraising and much more. We have a group of young people called Karma Buddies. They offer peer support and can be found on Facebook and Instagram. They are also part of the Northumberland Youth Forum and looking for new members. This is a good opportunity to talk about any current issues or problems, share your ideas and make your voice heard. Every Monday we have an exclusive session at Airbox Bounce in Cramlington. This is closed off to the public and it's for Karma Therapy only. The whole family can come along, join in and have some fun. We also have fitness for the whole family, with weekly Pilates and karate sessions and monthly exclusive Karma Therapy only sessions at Contract Gym in Bedlington. Another group for the whole family is Family Group, a group for all ages at our Chopperton Centre. We do lots of fun activities every Wednesday, such as making slime, arts and crafts, big box build and much more. During school holidays we have extra activities on. We also go on family trips and in the past have visited Lightwater Valley, Flamingo Land, Diggerland, Chester Zoo, Northumberland Zoo and many more. If you would like to come to any of our groups or would like any more information, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can visit our website at www.karmatherapy.org.
Welcome to COOF, a free, safe and anonymous place for young people to find online support and counselling. There's a bunch of features and tools to support you if you're looking for advice or simply aren't feeling your best. COOF Magazine, a place full of opinions, creative pieces and personal experiences written by young people. Express yourself and help others along the way. Try writing a short story, an informative article, or write about your own interests and experiences. You'd be surprised how good it can feel to contribute, and you'll be helping others too. COOF discussion boards. Here you can start or join a conversation on all sorts of things, from anxiety and relationship advice to tips for relaxing after a stressful day. COOF goals. This useful tool can help you set smart personal goals and track the progress you make towards achieving them. COOF journal. Like a personal diary, your COOF journal will help you track how your mood changes as a result of things that happen throughout the week. This can help you identify behaviours or events that tend to make you feel good, as well as those that make you feel less positive. And COOF Chat and Messenger, for when you want to talk to COOF's friendly online team about anything that might be bothering you. At COOF, there's always somebody who will listen and understand.
Welcome to this presentation about the Splendid Group and Waffling On. Hi, my name is Dennis Kinghorn. I went to Collingwood School, and after I left, I got a first-class degree in games development, won a Winston Churchill Trust Award to travel to Japan and the US, which I haven't been yet due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. And I joined the Splendid Group, where I've taken on all kinds of roles: group leader, games developer, events manager, fundraiser, speaker. Splendid Group is for young adults with learning differences. We are in charge of the project and the program. We run our own activities and events. We are based in Amble, but can run stuff in other places too. We have members from all over Northumberland. We have members that went to Duchess High School, Bondale, Collingwood, Cleeswell Hill, James Calvert Spence College, Berwick Academy, Dilston College, Newcastle College and Northumberland College. If you join us, you could get involved in Save Places Project, Waffling On Enterprise, Games Development Group, gaming events, Sunday night quiz night, Splinter Sisters, Safe Places venues. We are recruiting places around Northumberland to join the Safe Places scheme. We train their staff to know how to cope with people who may become lost or anxious when we are out and about. One of us becomes their mentor to stay in touch and make sure they have what they need. If you'd like to help, you can join us as a trainer or mentor. Free training given.
If I'm lost or nervous, I always go to a safe place to feel happy.
It would be really useful to have the Safe Place scheme in place because it would make you feel more comfortable if you're going out and about.
Safe Places users. We also visit members of groups and schools for people who have learning differences, disabilities and other groups at risk, to explain the scheme and stay in touch. Give out Safe Places cards. Promote the new Safe Places app. Keep in touch by providing a mentor. If you'd like to help, you can join us visiting schools and groups. Free training given. Waffling On. We have our own trailer. We make crepes and waffles and sell them at markets and events. We ask our customers to try our quiz about learning differences. Interested? You could join us and learn about catering, health and safety, customer service, presentation skills, and much more. We hope that there will be paid work once we get properly up and running after COVID. Our quiz has questions like this one. Please tick any options you think are right. Which of these well-known people do you think has a specific learning difficulty or disability? Games Development Group. The Dilemma Difference is a video game with a difference being designed and developed by our group. It's set in a medieval fantasy world where our three main characters, who have learning differences themselves, struggle to find work until one day they get to go on a mission that helps rescue the prince of their kingdom. So this is a group that I lead. You can download an early version of the game at www.wafflingon.uk/video game project. But interested? You could learn about games design, storytelling, art and music and be part of our creative team. Autism-friendly gaming events. We are building up our equipment so we can put on a friendly small gaming events with competitions and prizes. Interested? You can help to plan events, organize programs, check venues and take part. Sunday night quiz night. Whether it's a chance to try out a new game or just going online together, we are using games and quizzes to stay in touch. Splinter Sisters. Sometimes the young women in groups don't have much chance to share their worries and issues. Splinter Sisters meets once a month for social activities and short support sessions. Sometimes arts and crafts too. Interested in any of this? Visit our website www.wafflingon.uk or email splintergroupnorth@gmail.com. You can ring 07775 817 544, or you can visit our Facebook page at Splinter Group North. And that's thank you for paying attention to this presentation.
Here are some photographs from Hextall. This is a charity based in Hexham, providing opportunities to people with learning disabilities. The opportunities include Green Box, Gardeners, Towns Cafe, Catering and Property Works. Let's have a look at the pictures. To find out more about Hextall, either ring 01 434 605 253 or email them on contact@hextall.org.uk.
Brightside isn't a typical day service. So much more than that. We encourage, we teach, we support all of the adults in our care. For us, it's about ensuring that all of our adults build the confidence to do everyday tasks that life throws at us. Individuals with additional needs deserve fun. They deserve fulfilling and educational experiences. And we're able to provide this in a specialist and safe environment with their peers. We offer provision for those with a wide variety of needs and work hard to adapt our programme to the needs of the individual. We want to support our group members to be all that they can be. This is just a typical day at Brightside.
Hello, I'm Cheryl, a director here from Brightside Adult Services. Brightside has and continues to provide services during the COVID pandemic. We believe that day services are essential in supporting our young adults to maintain their structures and routines on which they rely, along with contact with the world. We know that for some of our young adults, remaining at home for a prolonged period of time would have a catastrophic impact on their physical, social and mental well-being. For us, therefore, it was always a case of how we continue to provide our services, not if. We've created this video to tell you more about what we're doing in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have procured the services of a private health and safety consultancy firm and worked with Northumberland County Council and Public Health England to develop our own COVID policies, risk assessments and procedures. We regularly review these policies and procedures with the latest advice and guidance from both central and local governments. An essential part of our service is the different, exciting things that our young adults get to do, regardless of their individual needs. Due to the pandemic, we have revised the programme, which means we are doing things that are more centre-based than usual. But we have been making use of our unique location and taking full advantage of the local rural woodlands and beaches. Due to the lower transmission of COVID in an outdoor environment, staff are delivering sessions outdoor where appropriate for the young adults. We have adapted how our low needs group do their grocery shopping too. They are no longer able to go into the stores to purchase their meals. However, they now plan with the support team and place an order online. When the groceries are delivered, the young adults bring the shopping through into the kitchen where they clean each of the items before they're put away into the cupboard. Each of our young adults has their own box, which they have decorated, and each of the boxes contains their own resources which only they can use. In addition, they are provided with wipes and hand sanitizer too. Our centre has always been regularly cleaned and recorded. We have now tweaked our programme to finish half an hour earlier to facilitate an enhanced cleaning schedule. The young adults have also been taking responsibility for cleaning their own areas too. When we are out and about, it is incredibly important that we ensure we are able to adhere to the current COVID guidelines. To do this, we've implemented a few things. The first thing is a reduction in numbers to go out on trips requiring the minibus. We have also removed seats from the minibus to ensure that the young adults can socially distance. We also ensure that our group members think about social distancing when it is safe to do so. Within Brightside, the services have been split into smaller groups to create bubbles. Each staff member is assigned to that bubble and stays with that group of young adults. We also believe that day services play an essential role in enabling parents and carers to have a break from their caring role. Parents tell us that without this, crisis point may well have been reached during the pandemic. Many of our members have parents who are key workers, and it is essential, therefore, that we provide our services to enable parents to sustain their employment. Our young adults all deserve the opportunity to continue to access services regardless of the current global situation, and this is how we have adapted to be able to achieve this.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Baker. I am a fitness professional from Newcastle upon Tyne. I am a personal trainer and director of Motion North East, which is a personal training services provider for the disabled community. Today I'm going to be talking to you about exercise. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find the video useful. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm just going to start by saying that you are completely different to any other person. We all have our own abilities and strengths, weaknesses. It's a case of finding what is appropriate to you as an individual. When approaching finding a new fitness routine or exercises and things like that, all I'm going to say is just be very cautious. There's no rush. Start from the bottom, very basic, and work your way up. If something's too hard, then you ease back a bit. If something doesn't feel right, you ease back a bit. If something feels okay, then you can progress it. So, on to exercise. Now, there's many forms of exercise, but typically there's two forms of training. So on one side you've got CV training, which is cardiovascular training, and on the other side you've got resistance training. Now, CV training, this is things like jogging, swimming, cycling, things like dance classes. These are things that are really going to elevate your heart rate and are very, very beneficial for your heart and lungs. They're going to get you nice and physically fit. Other end of the scale, you've got resistance training. So this is things like weightlifting. You'll see people using free weights, cables, pulleys, resistance bands, things like that. Now this is more for muscular strength. Both have lots and lots of health benefits. And these are things like increased bone density, increased muscle mass, increased strength, stronger connective tissues like tendons and ligaments, improved heart health, improved respiratory health, improved neuroconnections, improved motor skills. I could go on and on. There's lots and lots of great physical benefits for the body that come from exercise. So we've talked about the physical side of things. Now let's talk about the mental side of things. So exercise has lots of mental health benefits. When you're performing these exercises and you're moving and the blood's pumping and things like that, your brain will release things called endorphins, which are happy chemicals, which will improve your mood. Once you start getting used to exercise, you will see it as a source of enjoyment. You will feel that enjoyment, and it gives you a great set routine for your weeks. You will look forward to your workouts, and when you see yourself physically changing, you feel the physical changes, that does wonders for your mental health as well. When you see yourself achieving these goals and you look back over it, you started here and now you're here, it gives you a real sense of achievement, and you will feel the benefits of starting up a routine. On to the workout. So the structure of a good workout goes as follows. You've got your warm-up, you've got your main part, and you've got your cool-down. The warm-up is a way in which you're preparing your body for physical activity. The main part is either you have chosen cardiovascular training or resistance training. And the cool-down is a way in which you're telling your body, I'm stopping this physical activity. That's it, top and bottom, simple as that. The warm-up. So the warm-up is a crucial part of your workout. It's very important in regards to injury prevention and is a way of preparing your body for more strenuous activity. There's many ways of warming up. You could use something like a cross trainer or a rowing machine. If you didn't have use of a bit of kit like that, you could do things like dynamic stretching, which is basically movements of the joints. Okay, so that's open and close the chest, head movements, wrist rolling, things like that. The aim of the game of a warm-up is to elevate the heart rate, get the blood pumping around the body, oxygen to the muscles, and preparing the joints for more strenuous activity. Now on to the main part of the workout. Now this is entirely up to you. It all depends what you've picked to do. So you may be performing some free weight exercises in the gym. You could be doing some resistance band training at home, body weight exercises. You might have picked a CV exercise, so you might be going for a run. You might be running on the treadmill, could be on the cross trainer, anything. But this is where you're going to perform the more strenuous activity of your training session. Lastly, we have the cool down. So this is the last portion of your training session, and this should be approached in reverse to how you approached your warm-up. So in the warm-up, you gradually bring your heart rate up, and in the cool down, you want to gradually bring your heart rate down. This is very important for heart health, and is very, very important if you've been doing cardiovascular training. You do not want to just stop dead in the water. So say if you've been running, you would then walk for 5 minutes. If you've been cycling, you would then bring your speed down to like a low level. If you've been doing free weights, you could do something like walking, or you could jump on, if you're in the gym, you could jump on like a cross trainer or something like that and just go nice and easy for 5 minutes. What you're trying to do here is to tell the body that you're stopping exercising, and it's very good calming feeling. It's good for relaxation. And what I would always recommend is that you should perform some static stretching after training. So static stretching is things like a pec stretch, a tricep stretch, or shoulder stretch. There's lots of static stretches out there. That's something for you to look into. And what it does is, when you stretch a muscle, you're drawing blood into the muscle. So in training, you've just built up a lot of lactic acid. So when you draw blood into the muscle through a stretch, it pushes out the toxins, and you should feel less sore days leading after your workouts. That's pretty much it for the cool down. Do not skip it, it is very important. So lastly, I'd like to talk about recovery. The recovery process is just as important as the training itself. If you are performing things like running, cycling, swimming, typically those exercises can be performed daily. I wouldn't recommend it for some, but they can. Now when it comes to resistance training, it's a different story. When you're lifting weights or performing bodyweight exercises like push-ups, squats, things like that, you are tearing down a lot more muscle fibers than if you are when you're running. So this requires more recovery time. Typically, if you performed a full body workout, you would need at least 48 hours recovery time. If you zoned in on one area, so say you wanted to do your shoulders or your legs, you would therefore need more recovery time, say 4 to 7 days. Now, everybody is different. Going back to what I said at the start, you may recover quicker than the next person, or the next person may recover quicker than you. We all recover at different rates, but there's a couple of factors to keep in mind in your recovery process. So, adequate time between workouts, protein intake, and sleep. So I've talked about the recovery time. Let's talk about the protein intake. So protein, I'm not really going to get into too much depth with nutrition, but protein is in charge of all things muscular. You must have adequate protein levels in your diet for optimal repair. Lastly, sleep. So you repair in your sleep. And I know it's not the easiest thing in the world to get brilliant sleep every single day, but do try and get as good rest as possible. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you found the video useful. A couple of things before I go. As I mentioned at the start and in the recovery process, everyone is different. Take your time finding what works for you as an individual. I wish you all luck in the world and your fitness journeys and in life, and take care of yourselves.
It's now going to be a 15-minute break. When we return, videos will include Chris Cook, Olympic swimmer, as well as Richie from Awesometistic, and many more. See you later.
Hi, I'm Chris. In the previous video I shared a little bit of my story, if you like, and in this video I'm going to share some hints and tips of how you can kind of take control of your mindset and make some positive, influential changes. So, here we go. In 2001, my performances in training and practice were way better than my performances when I was competing. And this sent alarm bells off in my coach and my head to say something needs to change, something needs to be done differently. So I decided to go to a sports psychologist, someone who specialises in how the mind influences the physical performance in sport. This was when I started my journey of exploring and learning how mindset and what passes through our mind can influence our physical performance. What I thought would only be a handful of sessions turned out to be 8 years of the most powerful and valuable life-changing work you could imagine. It was this journey of understanding how mindset influences our actions and how our actions deliver our results that made me want to share my findings with the rest of the world, with as many people as possible. Upon retiring from swimming, I began sharing my story and my mindset ramblings, if you like, with as many people, mentoring and coaching in all different environments. And during lockdown, I even created a course for young people to help them understand how to keep things simple and not to overcomplicate matters of the mind. So, with that said, I thought I'd share a little bit of that course with you now and some of my findings in the hope that it helps you. The first tip I have is to make a commitment to growth and development. I said it in the previous video, you can't shrink your way to success. We have to commit to expansion. And this leads me nicely onto my second tip. Don't expect it to feel comfortable. In fact, get used to discomfort. Get used to the discomfort zone. It's this discomfort that leads to wonderful things. Like the old saying, beautiful things can emerge from chaos. I guess it's our job to allow the chaos to run its course. Next, become the observer of your thoughts. This may sound like a strange one, but it's actually really beneficial to witness your thoughts. Don't be alarmed if your thoughts aren't always progressive thoughts. They aren't always supposed to be upbeat and positive all the time. We'll come on to that in a little bit. But work out which thoughts are serving you and which ones you need to ditch. When those thoughts come in, just have a little mantra such as, oh, there's that useless thought again. Oh well. This sends a message back to the mind to say, that's not needed, that's not useful, thanks. Another great tip is to take ownership of all the choices you make. This kind of sounds like a crazy thing to say, but when you take ownership of all the things that come your way in life, you end up taking more control. It's true. Now then, we're not talking about blame or pointing the finger here or being a victim. We're talking about understanding the impact of our choices and taking ownership over the excuses we make. You know that you can't do anything about the weather, but you can control your response to the weather. This leads us nicely onto my next mindset tip, and that is to let go of perfection and search for progress. This is vital in this ever-changing world, that we stop trying to make things perfect. Just give your best and forget the rest. Lay down your very best in any given moment. This is what your excellence is all about. So embrace it and learn from it. It's all here to teach you and help you learn how to progress. And lastly, I'm always asked by people, how do you build confidence? How do you become more confident in what you do? And the simple answer to that is create proof. Notice I said create there, not find. I believe we create success. When we accept the challenge to create our own results, then we're more likely to trust ourselves again and again. If you are the person who's created a personal best time or the result of a piece of coursework or an exam result, then you've done it once and you can do it many times over and over again because it was you who did it. In short, we build confidence through creating and developing evidence and proof. I've worked with enough people in my time and I hear people say all the time, oh, well, I've just been really lucky. And my response back to them is always, no. You positioned yourself to accept luck. There's a big difference. Let's never forget that you did the work to position yourself. It's the common denominator. So, I hope you found this short video really useful. I know there'll be plenty of people who listen to this and take on board some of the things I've said, which would be amazing if you do. Because I'm going to leave you with one last thing. Everyone can, but not everyone will. So the question is, will you?
Oh, so thank you very much for having a little bit of a break. When I was just talking to you guys before, I just wanted to basically tell you about the skill sets and the talents and the things that my autism really bring as a strength, because we've all got strengths and weaknesses, and it took a long time for me to put it down on paper and say, right, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How do I turn them weaknesses into a positive? Because I'm a very, very positive person. I like to try and make sure that it's okay to say that you've got weaknesses. It's absolutely fine. But how do we use them weaknesses to help benefit the strengths, if that makes sense? So, for instance, right, if I see something with my autism, I go and get it. Right, I'm very obsessive. I've got obsession, where if I want something, I go and get it. Now that drive gives me something to go out there and make sure that I help, and I ended up helping 2,500 families over the last year before Christmas, and at Christmas I won an award for the Autism Hero Award in London. So I only got that because of the skill that I had and passion that I had to drive forward to try and do something and make change. I would say that I'm very organised. That's when I did my engineering qualification. What I realised is that people with autism could be really good at engineering, and the reason that is because engineering takes a particular set of skills like drawing, measurements, accuracy, machining, things like that, 3D work, CAD-ware, all of that type of stuff. It's a very broad and a very hard qualification to get, but because of my autism, I honestly believe that gave me a strength in doing that course, because I was so directed at that and that and that, and I was very good at planning and bringing it together and putting dates. The best subject I had was project management, because my whole day, for instance, when I come off this to you guys, I'll go and stim away to make sure that I bring myself down so I can enjoy the rest of my day and not be functional anymore. I would say one of my talents is people. I've learned how to fit into different social situations. So if I was playing with girls, or I was playing with boys, or I was out with a group of my adult friends, or whatever I was doing, I've learned how to adapt myself to be in there. Now, because of my autism, I felt very scared about where I fitted in. So then I had to quickly learn from others. So then I started kind of mirroring people and copying them a little bit. And it gives us a good way as a people person. Believe it or not, right, I have had 23 jobs, okay? I've worked at PC World, Curry's, Comet, Northern Rock, Zizzy's, Frank and Benny's. I've worked at loads of places, right? And now what it was is because I didn't fit in socially. So just because I had autism at school doesn't mean that my autism went away when I found it out and I got diagnosed with it. It was still very much there. And I quickly realised that the reason I had all of these jobs is one, I had a very good talent at interviews. I was very good. I learned how to be very good at an interview, and I used that practice on every other single interview. So that gave me a strength. I used to learn how to turn an interview around and ask them questions. The preparation for an interview, I was really good at. I used to do little booklets to hand out and stuff. So I was very good at the interview. But what I realised is when you start a job, everybody's like, oh, you're the new guy. How are you doing? How are you doing? I felt really welcome. Had loads of people around us wanting to know who I am, if I'm going to be any good. I was very good at that job because I like this very set of skills. I like to know what A, B, C, D, E job is to get that job complete. But then after a couple of weeks, I realised that everybody drifted away because I wasn't a new guy anymore. I really struggled to work out where I fitted in with the people. Was I that group of friends, or was I that group of friends, or was I that group of friends, or was I everybody's friends? So it was very difficult to try and understand where I fitted in with that. So I ended up leaving very quickly and then getting another job. And then I ended up doing the same again and again and again. And it wasn't until I actually got a job at Newcastle College, being a lecturer, that I started to ground myself a little bit more, because I was meeting different students. It helped developers in terms of working with people. And then when I got me diagnosed with autism, I thought to myself, you know what it is? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to open my own business. And I did, and I opened this, and it's been going for about 2 years now. It's been really fun. I drive a Mustang GT 5-litre car around all the schools to show them what it's like. And I would say, again, right, with my autism, and one of my talents is that I couldn't pass my driving test when I was 17, 18, 19, 20. I had hundreds of lessons. I couldn't do it because I wasn't ready. It was just because that was what everybody else was doing. I copied them, but I wasn't up to a point in my life where I wanted to do it. I just did it because everybody else was. But when I opened this and I wanted to go and try and see if I could get some sponsorship on the car, I couldn't drive. So then I had to go and actually focus all of my attention and all my drive. And I passed my test first time and I got full marks for my theory test. Now, showing you them two things where I'm not interested in something, it's not very good. Interested in something, it's the best it can be. And that's one of the skill sets that I learned, that when I apply myself to something, it gets maximum attention. So yeah, guys, I've learned a lot from myself, and I think it's very good to do a character thing to yourselves to try and work out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and just think, right, yeah, they're weaknesses, but how can we use their weaknesses, turn them around into a strength, and help them other strengths? And try and look at yourself as one person, as a whole subject. So without them strengths, there will be no weaknesses. Without them weaknesses, there wouldn't be strengths. So try and look down at yourself like that. But if I was to say anything about autism, right, please don't be scared to ask anybody that has autism how you can help them. Because I wish that a little lad would come up, or a girl would come up to me at school and went, Rich, can I just ask you? And they started asking them about my behaviours and why do you do that? Can I just ask you? And just try and welcome it in and accept that people with autism are awesome. But it also can be very hard, and they struggle massively sometimes in social situations that don't need to be there. We've all had a little bit of anxiety in our stomach at some point. So can you imagine what that little anxiety is for somebody with autism, carrying that around with them all day long? So please be kind, and thank you very much for having us. All right, take care.
Hello, my name is Sarah and I'm from Journey Enterprises. I work as a hub manager based at our Acomb hub in Northumberland. So we are a day service and we support adults with learning disabilities. So we believe that people with learning disability have the right to have a good job, be fit and healthy and have fun. So we work with clients to help them find out what they are good at and what they like, and we help them build on their talents and independence. So I'm now going to take you on a tour of our building and show you what we get up to. So this is the front of our building and our car park. So you'll see when we go through the hub today that there's lots of tape around and some hand sanitizer, and that's just to keep us all safe now that we're back at the hub. So down this corridor we've got our first session area. This is where our life skills coaches work with our clients in small groups. We do a range of different sessions like arts, kitchen, cooking. So we've got some herbs growing along here. This is our conservatory, and we've got our beautiful garden in the back where we do a lot of gardening sessions. We're going to be getting a sensory garden built there soon for our clients, which will start soon. We've still got some decorations up as we had some celebrations for Halloween last week. So this is Gillian. This is our hub administrator. And then along the corridor here, we've just got some staff rooms. This is where our life skills coaches work when they're not in a session with clients. And my office at the end. So upstairs, the main part of upstairs is head office. So this is where our senior team works, so our CEO and our operations manager. And then at the end here, this is where our business support manager works. Here's Joe. So along the end here, we've got a couple more session areas.
At the end, this room's usually used for drama or dance with our clients. At the moment, we're using it as a little bit of a storage area, as we don't have as many people coming in at the moment. And then this room is in use. This is mainly used for arts and crafts. And there's Nadia at the end. I'm going to hand you over to Nadia now.
Hi, my name's Nadia, and I'm a Senior Life Skills Coach here at Journey Enterprises. So what I do on a daily basis is I'm a Senior Life Skills Coach here. So we help support the clients throughout the day, doing activities, learning independent living skills, catering, hospitality, and also to progress into job coaching. With my senior role, I also help support Sarah, the hub manager, with doing funding reports and also supporting the rest of the team with any paperwork or session plans that they need doing. So my background is I've worked in residential care beforehand, and I have a teaching degree within learning disabilities, and I also have a degree in sport. So I love sport and drama and just getting involved and being great. So one of my favourite things, not one, I have lots of things about working at Journey that I love, but my main thing is just being with the clients. They are great, they make coming to work fun, and it's great to see their progression. It's a really good place to work, and it's a really good bunch of clients to work with.
Welcome to Northumberland Fire and Rescue Service, and this is the Prince's Trust Team Programme. Here's the lads to tell you more about it.
We've got a fantastic programme coming up soon. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, we do, Stephen, absolutely. Your opportunity to gain national qualifications and uncover your hidden talents.
Develop your self-confidence, assume responsibility and take leadership.
As well as developing teamworking skills and supporting your local community.
Meet new people, new experiences.
Planning for the future, challenging yourself.
Have your say. So don't miss out and contact Northumberland Fire and Rescue Service on their Twitter page, on Facebook page.
Hello, my name is Ian. I have two jobs working with young people, one as a youth worker, the other giving careers advice. At school, I was an average student. I wasn't great at anything, and I had no direction. I wanted to be a bus driver, a stormtrooper, a vet, and then a teacher. You are allowed to change your mind as many times as you like. In addition to that, epilepsy has been part of my life since I was 10 years old. I take some medication for it, but it hasn't held me back. After school, I went over to college, and that was where things really changed for me. I got more focused, I got a new group of friends and became more confident. If I was to draw you a picture of how I got into the job that I'm in now, it would look like snakes and ladders. Lots of rises, falls, various different jobs, and I'm not entirely convinced that I'm at the end yet either. If I was to give some advice to my 16-year-old self, it would be something along the lines of, you might have no idea what direction you're going in, but be nice, keep trying, and when the good times come, grab them with both hands. You'll be okay. Hope that helps.
Hi, I'm Lance, and I'm helping Northumberland prepare young people for adulthood. I work with a team of around about 10 psychologists in Northumberland, and my main role is really to provide advice and intervention for pupils with special needs, also do training, staff in schools, and where possible we do kind of project work and research. And my background is educational, so I used to be a maths teacher, and before that I studied maths at university. So when I was at school, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do when I left school. Because I was really good at maths, I had an idea that I wanted to work in banking. I did some work experience when I was around about 15, and I kind of quickly realised that banking wasn't really a career for me. And again, I wasn't really sure until I really left university what field of work I wanted to pursue, and I decided that teaching would be a good career for me. So I went into teaching, and this led to my current role as a psychologist. So in terms of advice that I give to children leaving school, the first piece of advice I would give is to balance your studies, particularly around exam time, with doing exercise and interests and hobbies and spending time with your family. Second piece of advice I would give is to try and keep things in perspective. So yes, qualifications are really important, but if you don't do as well as you expect in an exam, that's not the end of the world. There's always other opportunities in the future. And the third piece of advice I would give is, yes, it's great if you have an idea when you leave school what you want to do, but it's also okay if you're not sure. And if you're not sure about what you want to do when you leave school, I suggest you go and seek careers advice, or maybe do some taster courses, and think about what your strengths are, what you're interested in, what you're good at, and then do some research around that. So look at, are there some courses out there, are there some work experience you could do to match to those interests. The last bit of advice I give is to think about your transferable skills and maybe work on developing these. So in the future, prospective employers, transferable skills are equally as important as academic and practical skills. So think about things like, how do you relate to other people? Can you work as part of a team? Can you work independently? Are you reliable? Are you dependable? Have you got a high work ethic? And try and work on those skills as well.
Do you like your job, Sam?
Yes.
Does your job make you feel any of these? Happy?
My name's Tim Dean. I'm a trainer and I work at XPO at Barnsley. So we developed the training alongside Kat Rowley from WorkFit, and thanks to her, with her input and help, we established a way of giving Sam the information he needed, the more important information he needed, and being able to spread that training over a period of time, rather than trying to do everything at once. What we've developed is a workbook for Sam. It highlights what he needs to do when he arrives, who he'll be working with, where he'll be working, what time he's going to take his break. A big part of the training was not just Sam's training, but also training the buddies, showing them what they need to do to support Sam while he's at work. This involved sort of the buddies shadowing, taking them through the process, and they can then use the workbook that Sam's got to guide him, to support him, rather than leading him by the hand, asking Sam questions about where we're going to go and what we're going to do next. He can then use the pictures in his book and also we can correct him if need be. But it's very much a support role rather than a leading by the hand role.
Hi, my name's Donna and I work with Sam. I'm one of his work buddies. We work for XPO Logistics. He's doing really well and taking everything on board that we're telling him and getting on with the job lovely. It's very rewarding to work with Sam. He's a pleasure, and when he smiles it just makes the job even better. Absolutely fantastic, yeah. He absolutely loves the work. He doesn't want to move away from his workstation. He'd just stay all day and all night, to be quite honest. And Yeah, I think he's getting a lot of enjoyment and a lot out of XPO Logistics. If you've never worked with someone who has Down syndrome, then I would just say go ahead and do it. It's very rewarding and you'll be absolutely amazed at what they can actually achieve.
Where are you going? You've got your coat on. Where are you going?
Pub.
What for?
Burger.
Burger.
Save.
Yeah.
At door.
Why are you going to the pub?
Pub.
For burger, chips and Coke?
Yes.
Why?
Nine.
What's you going to use?
Money.
Money? And where have you got your money from? Sam, where have you got your money from?
Food.
From?
No.
From work. Oh, when you've been working.
Samuel's like an ambassador, forging forward, because it's always what he wants to do. So it's not that you can't do that, you will do that, is what we say. If he wants to do it, then we will enable that to happen for him. I can't emphasise how not only is it so proud of Samuel, but it's just been made so much easier for us as parents. At XPO he gets the enjoyment, feeling part of something, as well as getting paid. Loves it, absolutely loves it.
So anybody who's considering working with anyone with Down syndrome, go and talk to the Down Syndrome Association and their WorkFit programme. They're the people who can give you the information you need and guide you in the right direction.
My name is Rhys Williams. I am driving the car. I feel happy. We have learned a new driver lessons, and I went to roundabouts and turning right and left and indicator, and I done all those, and I left a first gear and I have just slowed down.
I'm Darren Baker and I'm a driving instructor. Rhys is very easy to teach. He learns it very, very quickly. It takes him a while to master something, but he thoroughly enjoys what he's doing. He gets excited every time he gets in that car. He now knows most of the roads around here. He knows exactly when the speed changes are going to come up. As far as the theory side of it's concerned, he's got a theory app and he practices that. He loves to put his foot down when he sees a national speed limit sign, especially if his father's in the back of the car. As soon as he sees that national speed limit sign, down his foot goes and off he goes. He likes to see his father a little bit scared. Please come and sit in the car with him and you'll soon see that he can drive just like anybody else. Absolutely no problem at all.
I work correctly. Favorite manager, drama. He's funny and full of fun, so, and I like all the girls, and I got Jean, Jade, Lisa and Donna and I clean every table and sort down drinks of breakfast and clean the floor and clean the glass, and it looks all very tidy. And I paid a discount, and we get a free drink and free food. We had small oranges and roast chicken. We get my favorite food. And I get paid, and I enjoy seeing people.
My name's Gemma Blake. I'm the store manager here at Greggs. Workfit came, we met Rhys and his parents, introduced him then to all the team, and then before Rhys could come to work, we all had training with Workfit. I had a day with him where we did the training, and me and Rhys then stayed with each other all day, and I showed him basically how to do the jobs, and he picked it up straight away, and I haven't had to show him ever again. He was quiet when he first came here, but Rhys has totally come out of his shell. He laughs with us, he'll joke with us all the time now. He comes out with us. Rhys has given us obviously a lot more knowledge, and it's been fun to work with Rhys, and we love having him. I'm proud to be part of what Greggs have done, and it's given Rhys the opportunity to come and work here, and many others. I know I can contact Workfit at any time for support, which I'm very lucky I haven't needed to, because Rhys is so great at his job.
Thank you, Gemma, and thank you everyone from Greggs, and keep taking me all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhys, for being a super team member, and I appreciate all your hard work you do for me.
I'm Susie, and this is where I work in Marriott Hotel. I live with my husband Paul. We got married at Muffin Hall Hotel. It's a really good place, I like it. Me and Paul's independent and living in the flat. Sometimes it gets a little bit moody sometimes in the house. But sometimes I do get a little bit moody as well, and grumpy and that. So he has to get on with husband and wife. Obviously, it's like the best place out where I work. And I wish I had another extra day here, another extra day, so get more money in that. So yeah, I like it here. And that's the way I like to do shortbread biscuits. I just get on by myself, find the recipe in the chef's office, and take that out and just follow the recipe, what I normally do. I like Chef Chris because he's the big boss of this hotel anyway, so. Yeah, sometimes he comes down to see me a lot, and sometimes I help him, and sometimes I help with the other staff. I love the staff here because they're very friendly and talkative. The best thing is going to be preparing, plating up and stuff. Sometimes I prep desserts. chocolate fudge with chocolate on, 3 pieces of fudge, and then some almonds on top. Service!
Done.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan from Newcastle United Foundation. Welcome to St James's Park. Just want to tell you a little bit about my career to date. So when I left school, I spent 10 years working in retail and customer service in a supermarket. During that time I learned lots of key skills, so leadership, my confidence really came on a lot. I learned how to talk to people, especially customers, and how to deal with complaints. Really learned a lot during that time. I decided that I wanted to take a different direction with my career, so I decided to volunteer, which is a really good option. If anyone's volunteered before or thinking about volunteering in the future, I really highly recommend volunteering to build your skills up. I wanted to do community work, and I wanted to work with young people. So I went and I volunteered in South Africa for a few months, unpaid, just to develop some different skills and have some different experiences and meet a few new people. And when I came back, I started working on some youth programs, on the NCS program, which you might have heard of and might have even taken part in before. And that allowed me to get my job here. So I've been at Newcastle United now for 5 years. And I work with young adults who are looking for employment and who might be struggling a little bit and want some help. So we support them to look for jobs. And it's a really fulfilling job, and we get a lot out of it, helping people achieve their goals and get into the career that they want. The key skills that you need for my job and qualifications is just really to be able to speak to people, to be honest, to have a little bit of experience and know the jobs market a little bit, what jobs are out there, and what people need to do to be able to apply for jobs, and do good interviews and all of that type of thing. But really, you just need to be a people person and have a bit of experience. So no real qualifications, but it's more how you are as a person. Some employability tips, some top tips that I have for you, if you're looking for work, is to have a really good up-to-date CV. Okay, so if you haven't got one, go and ask somebody for some help. Get one typed up and make sure you keep it up to date. So any job experience you have, make sure it's on there. Any volunteering you've done, make sure it's on there. Any skills that you have, make sure it's on there, and always keep that up to date. All right, thank you.
Hello, welcome to the Media Suite here at St James's Park. My name's Gav, and I am a secondary project coordinator at Newcastle United Foundation. Before I got to this job, I've done quite a lot of different things. So from graduating university and getting a history degree, I have worked in a garage, a shoe shop. I have worked in mortgage processing for a large bank. I then went and travelled in Australia for a year, working in call centres. From then, I worked in prison education, working with young offenders. From that role, but made redundant, I then went into full-time education in a secondary school role, and that brought me here to Newcastle United Foundation. I'm coming up for 10 years here, working in different jobs across primary and secondary schools. So the skills I think from members of staff who work for us, like to think that they are polite and punctual in their job role, they're confident in talking to people, and also very well organised and professional in everything they do. Any top tips for getting a job? I would say be motivated, have a plan of where you want to go, have a look at what you want to do, and see if your education and experience matches up to that, and if not, try and find the experience or different things that you could do to branch out and try and get to the role you want to be in. But as you've seen with my jobs, it's never as easy as going to a plan A. You might have to go around the doors and go to different jobs, and from each job and each experience you do, take something from it. That experience will see you get the job you want.
Hello, my name's Matty, I'm from Newcastle United Foundation, and welcome to the home team dressing room at St James's Park. A little bit about my career. I left school at 16 years old and went to play football for a living. I signed a 2-year football scholarship with Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, where I spent 2 years living in Sheffield and playing football for a living. Unfortunately, after 2 years, that came to an end. I then moved back up north and went to Gateshead College, where I topped up my BTEC in sports participation and exercise for a further year, playing football alongside all my studies. And then after that, I enrolled at Northumbria University to do a sports development and coaching degree for 3 years, where I also played for Team Northumbria football team in the Bucks League every Wednesday. In my final year, I started to work for Newcastle United Foundation as a sessional member of staff, fitting in any hours that I could during the week around my university timetable, picking up 1-2 hours a week, meeting different people, going to different sessions just to get a feel for what they do in and around the community and what offers and programmes they work with and who they work with, what people they work with. That gave me an insight in what the foundation do and opened my mind to different jobs at a football club. Although a lot of people see that a football club has 11 players on a football pitch, they don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. So me being a football fan, I still get to work within the football industry, get to come to St James's Park most days, get to meet famous faces, whether it be the footballers themselves, and being in a football atmosphere is something that I've always wanted to do, whether it be a professional footballer or working within a football club itself. Key skills that I think that you need to work within a football club are being punctual, being on time, being presentable, being professional in everything you do, having good communication skills, being able to talk to people but also being able to listen to people. Also time management, working on through the week, making sure you're hitting deadlines, are key skills that will help you inside work, employability settings, in life in general, and most importantly in school. Top tips for myself for getting into work, I would look at researching what you want to do and finding out how best to go about it. Speaking to people, looking at alternative careers, sometimes it doesn't always work out the way you want to do. For example, myself, I wanted to be a footballer and that didn't work out, so I had to look at a backup plan. So having a backup plan is probably always the best way to go about it, so you've got that safety net and looking forward to coming back to.
Hi there, my name is Penny and I work for Newcastle United Foundation as a Business Network Coordinator. My career started when I was 16 years old as a part-time matchday hostess working at St James's Park. I was there for 3 seasons, just working match days whilst getting my GCSEs and A-levels. And then a full-time administration role came up within the hospitality team here at Newcastle United. I applied for that job thinking, what's there to lose? It's a great opportunity. Fortunately, I got the job. I was in that position for 1 year and then I was promoted to Business Development Executive. If you told 16-year-old Penny that within 2 years of her career she would be a business development executive, she wouldn't believe you at all. Because when I was 16, I had no confidence, I was really shy and I hated holding conversations with people. But it just shows if you push yourself outside your comfort zone, pursue opportunities that you might not think are for you to begin with. You never know what you can learn about yourself and what skills you can gain. Once I was working in business development, I made loads of great business connections around the North East to learn about all the fantastic companies that are here in the North East. And once I built that business network, I knew I wanted to do something more than just sales. So when the position to become Business Network Coordinator at the Foundation came up, I had to jump at the opportunity to be able to help others. So I've been in this role for 1 year now, and it's absolutely fantastic, supporting young adults in the North East at the jobs. And yeah, I'd say some of the top skills I would recommend to you to develop would be, again, confidence, punctuality, making sure you arrive places on time because everyone's busy, everyone needs you to rock up on time. And also just kind of approach things with an open mind because you never know what can come out of an opportunity. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Rachel and I work at Northumberland County Council. I work in the transport team at the County Council, but at the moment I'm working from home like everybody else. My job is to work on the Northumberland Line project, and the Northumberland Line is the railway between Ashington and Newcastle. The railway at the moment between Ashington and Newcastle is only for freight trains. So many of you will know that that means that we couldn't take a train from Ashington to get to the city centre. So freight is the movement of goods or equipment. And whilst the railway in Northumberland used to run passenger trains, it hasn't for almost 50 years. So what we hope to do as part of this project is to open up the railway from Ashington for passenger travel. That will mean that there'll be stations at Ashington, Bedlington, Newsham, Blythe, Bebbside, Seaton, Delaval and Northumberland Park, and those services and those stations will be open and the services will be up and running by 2023. So just 3 years' time, we hope that those services will be running. Why we're looking to open the railway is to improve access in and around Northumberland by public transport. So whilst there are some buses that you can travel on, we think it's really important to improve rail travel from Ashington into the city centre. We think it will help give you access to some jobs, but also gives you access to things in the city that you'd like to do for fun at the weekend. And also it gives us the opportunity in Northumberland to attract people to come and visit Northumberland as a kind of tourist destination, as somewhere that they'd like to come and explore. And that's really important to us. I think as you think about what you would like to do after school and the kind of jobs that you'd like to do in the future, the railway is a fantastic opportunity for us. And now that the Northumberland line looks like it will be in the region, there are lots of opportunities for jobs on the railway. So the first jobs that I think of, and I'm sure you think of, are train driving jobs, which sound very exciting, and there's definitely an opportunity there. Obviously, the railway will be in the local area, but also there are jobs like a guard, and at Newcastle Central Station, there are lots of staff who work within the station who help people to find the best train for them. They help them with questions or worries that they have about their ticket or catching the train on time, and just help people getting on and off the train. So those are the kind of customer service jobs that I think would be accessible and available if we have the railway.
So as a young person, it would mean that we can get to other places across South Northumberland a bit more easily than we currently can. And it'll mean we can go to like Newcastle and other places that we probably normally wouldn't. Currently, it'll take a long time to get from Newcastle to Ashton and vice versa, for example, and it'll cost more than you'd probably want to spend just for a day in town. So it'll mean that we can get to places much better. For towns like Ashington that are on that rail line, it'll mean that they can be revitalised and get a new burst of life, because people that probably wouldn't normally have came to places like Ashington and Bedlington will now have new people coming, so they'll be able to get that interest.
Hello, I'm Glenn Sanderson, leader of Northumberland County Council, and I'm at the rail line that will be the new Northumberland line that will take people from southeast Northumberland into Newcastle and beyond, saving huge amounts of car journeys, saving CO2, and being a fantastic addition to what we have in the county.
Right, I'm back. You already know my name. I'm Richie from Autistic, and we are at the end of the event. But whilst this is the end of the event, this is obviously not the end of your journey. And by now, you've probably got lots of information going around in your brains, and you're probably thinking about where and what you want to do in your future. You've probably got websites that you want to look and plans that you want to make. So what I need you to do now is I need you to continue your research. I need you to fill in these booklets to try and help shape a little bit of your future. And what we've decided to do is we'll try to do a prize draw. So if you can complete them booklets, hand them in to the teacher, and over the next couple of weeks, we'll do a prize draw to win some Amazon vouchers. Again, thank you very much for having us. I've learned a lot myself by looking at some of the videos, and I've learned a lot from some of the employers that we've seen today as well. So thank you for everybody, and good luck.
Where's Alison?
Hi, everybody. Just to finish off, we wanted to say a really big thank you to all the speakers and those who presented over the last 2 days.
We'd also like to acknowledge and thank those who helped us to produce this event.
And thank you all for attending our event. Please don't forget to fill in your evaluation form.
It's been a challenging year for all of us, and we hope to see you in person next year in 2021. Thank you.
Did that work?
I don't know, because I've lost my mouse and I can't even stop the filming.